We've talked about how God is always with us, protecting us in times of fear and uncertainty. But there's something even more profound about God's love and care for us. He provides for our every need. No matter how difficult life may get, no matter how dire the situation seems, God knows exactly what we need and will supply it at the right time. He doesn't just care for our spiritual well-being, He cares for every aspect of our lives, our emotional, physical, and material needs as well. And my God will supply every need of yours according to His riches in glory in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4 verse 19. When we look at this verse, we are reminded that God knows our needs better than we do. He sees beyond what we see in our present struggles. If we believe that He is the creator of all things, the one who holds the universe together, then why would we doubt that He can supply what we need in our lives? It might not always be in the way we expect or at the time we think it should come, but God's provision is always perfect, always timely. Think about this for a moment. Have there been times in your life when you've been worried, stressed, or even desperate for something? Whether it's a job, a relationship, health, or simply peace of mind. You may have felt like there was no way forward, like you had exhausted all your resources. Yet somehow, at just the right moment, things began to change. The job you prayed for came through. The friend you needed reached out. The healing you sought appeared. Why did this happen? Because God knows exactly what you need, and He will always provide it at the perfect time. God provides for your daily needs. Imagine a single mother who struggles to make ends meet, balancing work, family, and her own personal challenges. There may be days when she wonders how she'll pay the bills or provide for her children. But then, unexpectedly, a friend offers her help, or perhaps a financial opportunity opens up just when she needs it most. These are not mere coincidences. This is God's provision in action. If God provides for the birds of the air, how much more will He provide for His children? God provides strength in times of weakness. There are times in life when we feel emotionally drained, spiritually weary, or physically exhausted. It may seem like the weight of the world is on our shoulders, and we don't know how we can keep going. Yet, in these moments, God provides the strength we need. Think about a time when you thought you couldn't take one more step, but somehow, you made it through the day. You may not have realized it then, but God was giving you the strength to endure, even when you felt weak. God provides opportunities when you face financial difficulties, joblessness, or uncertainty about your future. It's easy to feel hopeless. You might ask yourself, how am I going to make it? Where will the next opportunity come from? But here's the truth. God is the ultimate provider of opportunities. Even when it feels like there's no way forward, God can open doors that no one else can. Perhaps someone offers you a job you never expected, or a business opportunity comes your way. God is always at work behind the scenes, orchestrating things for your good and His glory. God provides healing. There are moments in life when sickness, injury, or even emotional pain can make us feel hopeless. But just as God provides for our physical needs, He also provides healing. I'm sure you've heard stories of people who have been miraculously healed or who found comfort and strength in God during times of illness. Even in our weakest moments, when we feel like all hope is lost, God can provide the healing we need, whether through medical intervention or through the inner peace that only He can give. God provides peace in the midst of chaos. Have you ever experienced a time when your world felt like it was falling apart? When everything seemed uncertain and you were overwhelmed by worry? Yet, in the midst of all that, you felt a deep sense of peace that you couldn't explain? That's God providing His peace in a way that transcends our understanding. When everything else is chaotic, God's peace is the anchor for our soul. It's important to understand that God's provision isn't just about meeting our material needs, though He does that too. It's about providing for our hearts, minds, and spirits. He knows that we need strength, courage, and hope just as much as we need food, shelter, and safety. And when we trust Him, He gives us exactly what we need to navigate the challenges we face. In Mark 10 verse 27, we read, "With man it is impossible, but not with God. For all things are possible with God." This is a reminder that our limitations are not God's limitations. When we think we have reached the end of our resources, when we feel like there's no way forward, God can make a way. His ability to provide doesn't depend on our strength, wisdom, or efforts. With God, nothing is impossible. Imagine that you're standing at the edge of a great chasm. You've tried every way to cross it, but nothing seems to work. You feel helpless and frustrated. But in that moment, God speaks to your heart, reminding you that He is the one who can move mountains. He doesn't ask you to have all the answers. He asks you to trust in His ability to provide what you need, when you need it. So if you're going through a difficult season today, whether it's a financial struggle, an emotional crisis, or a challenging situation that seems impossible to overcome, remember that God knows your needs, and He will provide. He's not distant or unaware of what you're facing. He sees you, and He promises to supply every need according to His riches in glory. You may not always understand how or when it will happen, but you can trust that God's provision is always perfect. What seems impossible to you is never impossible to Him. So whatever you're facing today, lean into His promises, and remember that with God, all things are possible. Don't be afraid to trust in His provision. He will provide exactly what you need, just when you need it.